So Marcus has got me 3 sacks of apples. We've been attempting to weigh the apples. I think there's about 60 pounds of apples we've got to process. So these were sold as deer apples. I think they were $7.50 a sack, so really, really cheap. But now I'm trying to work out what I'm going to do with them all and how I'm going to process them. So that will be lots of fun. So I'm thinking apple butter, apple pie filling, apple everything, maybe an apple jam or an apple jelly.
But you've got to peel them all, yeah?
Yeah, we've got to peel them all, Marcus. I wonder where you went.
I'm thinking if we do like that.
That is not going to...
That works really well!
It's all over my table!
No, but we could peel them, like, alright, we need to go slower, but, like, that's amazing!
Oh, so you go out and butcher the chickens now?
Yeah, maybe you go outside.
But that'll work.
Yeah, but it's going to cover the whole room in apple peelings.
Just like you covered up in apple peelings.
You'd literally have to put a plastic sheet down.
No!
We could peel 3 sacks.
You can literally just sit in front of the TV and peel an apple.
That's no fun.
Marcus is managing to perfect this now. Who needs a KitchenAid with an attachment, eh Marcus?
Just need a marker.
Just need a Marcus. Marcus is my KitchenAid attachment. Do your chickens like the peel?
A couple of bruises on there.
Yeah, we'll put them in the water and I'll go through it. So I've never made apple butter before, but this smells like Christmas in a jar once it's in the jar. It's amazing. First go at it. Hopefully that's how it's meant to be. Feels quite thick, but not too thick. So let's get this jarred up. They think they're apples. You're not apples, kiddies. Coming out? So that's the first process done. So it just told me to top and tail the apples, basically quarter them, leave the cores in, leave the skins on, and then for every heaped quart to add a cup of water. So that's now in the big cauldron and it is going to simmer for about 20 minutes, or medium simmer for about 20 minutes, and hopefully we'll have juice, and then from the juice we will make apple jelly. So they do look a little lost in the bottom here, but I'm glad I have got this big pot because there's no way these would have fit in my other pots anyway. It smells divine. Some apples are pretty cooked down. When I touch them, they're very soft and fluffy. So I'm going to strain them and then sort out the pectin and put back to the stove. I don't feel like I did that massively elegantly, but I do have mainly the pulp taken from the juice. I'm letting this strain through. I don't like this cheesecloth. It's not wide enough. If you try and make it into any configuration than the dimensions is, it's just frayy. So I want a different alternative. If anyone's got any suggestions, please let me know. So it said don't like mash the fruit to get it through so it stays clear, but I was like, do you know what, I don't care if it's clear, I want to get as much juice as possible, so I did mash it. I've added my pectin and I went for a low sugar, no sugar recipe, so I've only actually added a cup of sugar to this because it actually tastes quite sweet. I think we've been lucky. The apples are really nice, so yeah, just bringing it to the boil and then hopefully it will do the whole setting thing. We'll see. The apple jelly didn't actually set, so I have priced this up as if I've made apple juice. Obviously the pectin was too old or I did something slightly wrong, but I have to say that it was way easier to make apple butter, and I think in future I would do that because it uses more of the actual apple rather than all that faff peeling and all the rest of it. Moving on to project number 3, this was the biggest project, I guess. I'm canning apples in a light syrup so that Bridget, who is our fruit fly, can just help herself after dinner and grab a nice sort of easy dessert, as it were. So we started using the drill here, and Etty's given me a hand, and for the most part it worked quite well. As long as you put the apple on centralised and the apples were of a decent size, it was worth it. So what we did is we then selected the bigger ones, did this, and then once we got down to the small ones we just finished it off by hand. Late at night, a lot of work. I was worried they're going to look brown. They do on the camera, but they don't actually in the light. I was really careful with the lemon juice to keep them from looking dark. So I'm really pleased with that effort. I just don't think they're going to last long because the girls have already eaten 2 jars. Dessert apples, so in a light syrup. Although we did make more than this. One's definitely disappeared overnight, and I made 2 that I didn't bother canning for pudding last night. But these are a hit, but a lot of work. So I've just weighed out today's apples, and today's mission is applesauce. Marcus and the girls are out of town at Pro Show, so I have the house to myself. I'm just going to watch some YouTube, sit and peel some apples, and yeah, take a nice chilled day and get some more apples processed. And there we have it, 6 jars of applesauce. I then ended up using the rest of the apples, so all 3 sacks are gone now, and I made another batch of apples in light syrup. So I just wanted to go over briefly the difference in the products between, well, I'd never heard of apple butter before I got here before, but then I've never done a massive apple batch cooking session, as it were. So according to good old trusty Google, apple jam is like an apple butter, that it features apples cooked down over a long period of time. However, apple jam is thinner in consistency, lighter in colour, and often includes bits of fruit, whereas apple butter is thicker, darker in colour thanks to the caramelisation, and blended until smooth. So I thought that summed it up better than I could probably do. So the general consensus here is that we will continue making apple butter. It's for us, we feel a better product because it's using more of the apple, so you've got the fibre in there, you're just blitzing it up, whereas the apple jelly that we made was basically making apple juice and then adding the pectin, and the pectin didn't actually set for us anyway. So yeah, if we're going to do it again, we would do apple butter. It's a thicker product, it's got more of the apple in, it's got more of the fibre in, so in our bet it's better for you in this modern world where everything's sugar, sugar, sugar. The apples and syrup we like, but if I was going to do that again, I would use a better, bigger apple. Because the deer apples, obviously you're cutting bits out that aren't quite right anyway, and that was the nature of the apples that we bought. But I probably wouldn't bother spending the time peeling and you know, coring everything and making it such a nice product for syrup. I would want a better product to do that with, a better apple. So there we have it. But yeah, I learnt a lot. and did actually manage to use the sacks of apples, and at least I know the difference now between the products with what we like and what we don't like. So yeah, top job, and as you can see as the investment, it was definitely worthwhile.